Hello, this is RCKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all the latest news that happened during the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below and I will answer it before the end of the show. Sorry for all the delays, guys. Literally, my computer kept crashing. I did a little YouTube story on it. It just kept crashing right before all day today. I was like, maybe it's just hot from running all day yesterday. So I just gave some time, tried it, and it still was crashing. So updated BIOSes, all this kind of stuff, and now hopefully it won't crash. If it does crash, I will start the video again until we are finished. So again, if you have any questions you want to ask, just ask them in the comment section down below and I will answer them before the end of the show. But now let's get started with the news, and honestly I'm not really happy about a lot of the news, guys, because a lot of it has to do with the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Plus. And this is a phone that is becoming just such a lower quality device to me that I'm really disappointed in it. So let's get to it. So first off, this device is going to have a smaller battery officially than the Galaxy S20 Ultra. I don't know what Samsung is thinking when it comes to this. I don't know why they wouldn't just make a bigger phone to accommodate the bigger battery, because quite honestly, this is just a real disappointment. The Note should be better than the S20 series. It always has been, it always should be. And the fact that it's going to have a lower battery is really upsetting. And it's a pretty substantial difference comparing to the Ultra as well. The Note 20 Plus will have a 4,500 milliamp battery. Is this bigger than last year's Note 10 Plus? Yes, it is better than last year's Note 10 Plus at 4,300. But it's lower than the Ultra, and it's just so upsetting for that reason alone. That this is a essential downgrade in terms of battery life compared to the Galaxy S20 Ultra. And I'm really disappointed with Samsung on this. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I never like to be dishonest when it comes to it, you know. Yes, would I love to be invited to their events every time? Yeah, sure, but I'm not going to feign interest if it's not there. And this really has me hoping that Samsung really kills it with the Galaxy Fold 2, because now all my eggs are in that basket, because I am not excited about the Note 20 Plus. And if the Galaxy Fold 2 does indeed have an S Pen, then I will easily choose that one over it. I really am disappointed in this. It's really lackluster so far from what we've gotten from it. And you know I'm covering every single feature, product, and everything that comes to it. So yeah, this is something that I'm really disappointed in hearing. So yeah, I just wanted to break that down to you guys. It's 4,500 compared to the 5,000 that was on the Ultra. Then we also get other news about the camera, and first of all, it will not have the 100 times optical zoom, which is fine. You know, the 100 times was bad anyway on the Ultra. I really did not like it. I always said you go to 10 times optical, that's about it. 30 times really is pushing it at the most, and even that was already bad, but 30 you can kind of get away with, but 100 was just BS. Samsung is doing this because of the negative feedback, because the 100 times optical zooms got so much negative feedback, it is not going to be there. So one would think, okay, so is it even going to have a 3 times optical or 3.5 times optical zoom like the Note had? And it is, but it's going to be different, basically. So this is a part of it that really is kind of like has people going one way or another in terms of we're hearing different sources say different things. So I don't know. Samsung should be wrapping up on this by now. Basically, May is when they're basically choosing their final products and parts, and then assembly starts in June. So this should be pretty much figured out at this point, but we're going to start to see, CAD renders, all this kind of stuff fully decked out of the Note 20 and Note 20 Plus in realistic fashion, because that is what's going to be coming out. Again, all the assembly starts in June. So that being said, this is going to have a periscope camera. So we'll have a periscope camera like the Ultra, but it's not going to be the same one possibly. So we don't know, which is fine. Obviously the S20 Ultra wasn't the best one, so I'm okay with them changing that aspect of it. But it really is just something that's kind of like, okay, well, what are they going to do here? Maybe they're going to make it amazing. Maybe they're going to make it better quality, and this will actually get me excited. The periscopic camera, by the way, will not be on the Fold 2. So that is something to note, that the Galaxy Note 20 Plus would have over the Fold 2 is the more zoom. Honestly, if it has the same kind of camera, that's all I'm really looking for. So I don't mind not having the zoom as much as I used to. It looks like Samsung has made a decision about the Note 20 event, and that is that it will be online. It is basically going to be online. Usually it would be in San Francisco, and they are not going to have it. They're going to have a digital one. And that does kind of suck for me, just because for smaller YouTubers like me, Samsung does not send out the device. They send it out to the big YouTubers. Probably about 200 to 300 YouTubers do get it, and that's about it. They invite, over 1,000 YouTubers to the event, or influencers rather, but not all of them are given a device, and that's basically what's going to happen this time, which kind of sucks. And we'll see if they change it, but as of right now, that's what's looking to happen. So I won't have my hands on the device early, which unfortunately does really suck, and I can't give you my opinion until I get it shipped to me, just like everyone else. Alright, so this was a big feature that I am happy to see Google finally getting around to it. It's only 2009, so we're talking about 11 years later. They're finally doing an iMessage competitor, basically, and taking it more seriously, I should say, because they've had plenty of iMessage competitors. They've had Hangouts, they've had Allo, and now they have Messages. And Messages uses RCS, which basically is big because carriers have agreed that it can be on all of their phones. So all newer Android devices that are Android 10 and up are going to have RCS, and they will have this ability. Now, what does this mean? It means your video quality looks better, only, again, if both people have RCS. So, again, this will be exactly like iMessage, where if you send something to an iPhone, it's still going to look crappy. If you send something from Android to Android and they both have RCS, it's going to look good. So the same kind of thing what iPhone has, this is essentially doing it. Now, the other big thing, though, that was missing from this is encryption, because RCS was actually not easier, I would say, but very vulnerable to someone being able to hack it and find out your text messages. So what Google is bringing in now in the beta, maybe even alpha stages, I would say, is end-to-end encryption. So basically, when you send something, it is encrypted, and then it is sent to the person so that no one can look at it. This is basically the same thing that Apple has with iMessage, end-to-end encryption, so it's very hard to hack. Now, there's always things or ways around things, but this is a huge leap forward for Google to actually get this. So hopefully, again, hopefully Google doesn't give up on this messaging service, and that's the biggest thing. And hopefully all Android manufacturers get rid of their own text messaging service, provide Google with assistance on this one so that it's better, because Samsung Messages, I would still say, is better than this in terms of the look and the abilities you can do, but this is slowly gaining traction. So yeah, that's what this is going to have the ability to give you sooner than later, hopefully, and I think it's going to be a good call for Android to have. By the way, RCS does work on Samsung messages and certain other providers' messages, but Google Messages was the one that you could get, and if you had Android 10 and your carrier supported it, which most carriers do now, you're fine. Okay, so Apple's Glass. Apple Glass is really kind of confirmed in a lot of different things now, including announcement date, including pricing, and a lot of stuff. So let's break it down. I, again, am very excited for this because I have said for a lot of time, I believe augmented reality is the future. I think 10 years from now, we will not have smartphones the way we have them now. I think we will end up having smartphones as glasses or as some kind of eye configuration or something smaller than a smartphone on our face, in our hands, something like that. But I just think smartphones the way they are now will not be the same in 10 years. And although that might sound crazy, you have to remember the modern day smartphone only started in 2008. So again, it really, more than 12 years ago, you didn't have any of the things we had now. And we didn't have smartwatches. We didn't have, the few augmented reality glasses we had. So in another 10 to 12 years, I definitely think that it's a possibility we're going to see the same kind of movement exponentially grow. So let's get to it. Apple doing this is really big again because I believe the biggest benefit of that is going to be the fact that you are going to get a huge influx of other manufacturers doing it. So let's get started. So first of all of the computer processing power will be done on the smartphone. So the whole idea is that the augmented reality glasses are going to be like the new wearable. They are going to essentially replace the smartwatch, and you will no longer really need an Apple Watch except for fitness and stuff like that, which is what they're going to try to point to, so you buy everything. But the whole idea behind Glass is that it's going to be a better version of a wearable than we currently have right now in smartwatches. And the thing that I found interesting, so let's get to it. So let's break it down. Both lenses are going to have a display, which I find very interesting. I think that's a little bit more distracting. I get it while it might be a benefit. I think it should be whatever dominant eye you have. So if someone has worse vision on the left or right eye, then they see that one. But we'll have to wait and see if it's more distracting. Both Google Glass and the ones that I wear North have it on one side, so I'm going to be kind of interested to see how it works that way. All the LiDAR information is coming from the iPad Pro program, so they're basically counting on people using it in order to do it, basically. So that's how it's going to work. Right now, currently, there's no plans to have sunglass versions just because it doesn't work with tinted glass. So this will be kind of straight up regular glasses in terms of how it will look. Prototypes have been plastic, LiDAR on the right temple. There are no other cameras in recent prototypes, so all about privacy. It will have wireless charging, and then pricing and availability. So we're going to have it at $500 starting. Of course, starting, that's going to be the bare bones. So you're going to have it probably go from $500 to $800, $900, and a gold edition at $2,000. The whole idea is that it's going to be planned to be in an announcement at the end of this year or beginning of next year. It really is leaning more towards the beginning of next year, just because of all of the issues that everything is going. As you can kind of see there, it's basically leaning towards next year is what we're hearing. And then it will be available at the end of next year or the beginning of 2022. So this is kind of like the AirPods. The AirPods were announced way ahead of time, and then they finally came out at a later date. I believe they were announced in September, and they came out in like March. And a couple of other accessories were like that too. I want to say the Apple Watch was like that. So anything that really introduces a new huge category for Apple, they're known for doing this. So again, I see this as, this is basically, I see this as kind of like the next evolution of wearables. I've been a big fan of it. Again, I've loved my North glasses. I do wish they had like a person like Google or Samsung behind them, because it really is something like, I can only imagine how great turn-by-turn navigation would be, things like that. And the LiDAR camera instead of a actual camera really allows you to kind of navigate and map, whereas a regular camera from like Google Glass era had a lot of security issues. So again, I do think this is the future. We'll have to wait and see how it goes and how heavy it is, all that kind of stuff. A lot of people that don't wear glasses probably won't think about wearing glasses. So we'll have to see how it goes. So let's see how it all comes together. And again, you're going to see other manufacturers ramp their AR divisions up because of this. Because this is coming out, Samsung, I guarantee you, will have one by the end of 2021 or 2022. Google will have one probably by the end of 2022, just because they take usually a little longer when it comes to hardware. But you better believe they have the software to do it right now, just because of all their Google Glass information they have. They really could step back into this very quickly, but I don't think they have the hardware company to do it. So very interested to see how this turns out, and again, it could be really exciting. All right, now this is another one that I am a little disappointed in seeing how it's going to go. So for those of you who know, I have always been an advocate of Google Play Music. I got it when it first came out, so I pay about, I think, $6 for the service. And what it ended up also giving me, it didn't give you this in the beginning, but it ended up giving it to you later. Google Play Music gave you also YouTube Premium. So, or YouTube, is it YouTube Premium or YouTube Red? I think it was YouTube Red, and then now it's YouTube Premium. And the whole idea behind that was the fact that I could actually watch YouTube videos without any ads. So I was like, yes, I mean, I already pay for it, and like, I have no issue with it. You can even get family versions of it. I think for $12, you can have up to 5 people on it. So it's really a more affordable version of Spotify, I would say. And I have just loved it just because it was the first one to really allow you to bring your own music. So I was able to bring my own music from my computer to Google Music. I was able to bring my playlist and create playlists with music that I own and don't own with everything. So I just love that ability. Now, YouTube Music is going away this year. Google has not said when, they just said it is going away this year. What is replacing it is YouTube Music. I will say that YouTube Music was pathetic and horrible the first time I downloaded it when it first came out. I have heard that they've made a lot of progression to it, so hopefully it will be better. I've seen CNET do videos on it, and you know, it does look a bit better now. But we'll have to wait and see. The whole idea behind this is that this is going to be the new standard music player that Google's pushing. So this is Google's music player, and it's just called YouTube Music. It has had a few updates that also make it have features that even Google Play Music didn't have. But the idea is that you're going to be able to transfer everything from Play Music to YouTube Music, depending on how big your library is, how long it'll take. I think I have like 20,000 songs, so mine might take a little while. But we'll have to wait and see just how it goes. But overall, this is going to be the new standard music player for Google Play Music moving towards this. And if you do have YouTube Red or YouTube Premium with a YouTube without ads, you do get this for free. So I wouldn't pay for Spotify if you are already paying for this. Just saying. Or Apple Music. And then finally, a bit of a sad note for OnePlus. It looks like they will no longer be having a McLaren edition phone moving forward. It looks like both parties are still in negotiations between creating another McLaren later this year, but it looks like since their contract expired, they have not been able to reach an agreement on a new contract. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But it looks as of now, the last McLaren was last one that I had, which was the I can't find it somewhere in here. Oh wait, here it is. The OnePlus 7T Pro McLaren was the last McLaren that could ever happen. So yeah, I really wish they would have released that leather bound one that they had. I would love for a smartphone to have leather again. Actually, can you imagine? Oh my God, that would be the best thing ever, actually. If that's how important variety is. Samsung. If Samsung would make a Note 20 Plus with a leather backing, I would buy it. As indifferent as I am to it right now, if it has a leather backing, I would immediately get it. I would just that would pique my interest so much. All right, guys, that was the news this week. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Hey, we got a super chat donation from R. Rawson. Thank you so much, sir. Keep it up. I will try to. All right. Not even gonna go to the Facebook after dark stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Any news on colors for the Note 20? No word on colors yet. I assume the same thing will happen as always. We'll get 2 colors in the US. The Note 20 Plus will only come in black or white, or black or silver. And that will be it for the Plus variant. And the lower tier, the Note 20, will come in about 3 or 4 colors. Watching this on my Note 9, still going strong. I bet it is. Watching on the Note 10 Plus. I'm actually looking forward to the Fold 2 this year. I am too. I'm really looking forward to the Fold 2. If the Fold 2 has an S Pen, I'm so excited for it, and I'm so getting it. But I'm just really hoping it has an S Pen and doesn't make too many sacrifices comparing to the Note 20. Starting to think my Note 9 is too big after having it for almost 2 years. You know, I will say that both my wife and my friend Wayne loved the regular Note 10 size. It was like the perfect size for them. So like, yeah, it's definitely, I think that was a very smart move of Samsung last year to make a smaller phone Note. I think it did very well, and it found its audience. So I think that was actually a really smart part of the division between the Note 10 and Note 10 Plus last year. Apple glasses to be announced this year, out next year, I'm hearing. Again, it's looking like it might be a few months later, so it will be announced the beginning of next year and coming out beginning of Q1 2022 as of right now, but that could change if the manufacturing issues cease and everything gets back on board. But also right now, consumers just are not buying as much as they used to on luxury items. Cheaper smartphones are doing well. Like actually, the prepaid phone market has been doing very well, actually. So that's actually been kind of interesting. Let's see. Maybe wait until the next Note if they're going to be downgrade. Get the next S21 phone. Yeah, I really, as of right now, I'm really not recommending a lot of people upgrade to the Note 20. We'll have to wait and see till it comes out and we get all final specs and build. But if it's what we're hearing right now, I wouldn't recommend it. It seems like Samsung is trying to phase out the Note line on purpose for the Fold series. I think that would be such a big mistake to do it, because there are people that just love the Note. And I'm not saying that can't move towards the Fold. It definitely can. But you need to make more of a distinction if you're going to have both. And I feel like the person in charge wants to move it to one phone, so an S20 Ultra with an S Pen, but keeps hearing from people that we don't want that we want to always have a Note line, and is kind of just like begrudgingly still coming out with a Note, even though it's hardly any difference. That's what it honestly feels like. What do you know about VPN? Is there a lot? And there's a lot out there. What's the best? I don't have a favorite VPN still. The current one I have on my phone right now, just because I used it 2 weeks ago, was Proton VPN. So that's the current one that I have on my smartphone. And what do I know about a VPN? I mean, VPNs are really important for more of the products you have on the go. So my laptop doesn't really leave here. So because of my encryption on my network, I don't use a VPN on my laptop really. But if I have it on my smartphone, then I do. On my work computer, I do. So on one that you take around with you, I would strongly recommend a VPN. But yeah, I'm trying to remember if I have a VPN on my laptop as like just in case. And I don't think I do. I've put on a VPN here and there when I need it. So like if I'm like, oh God, I need a VPN, to do this, like I just download whatever free VPN is out there and that's it. But unfortunately, there's just so many out there that I haven't really kind of, I haven't really found one that are like, oh man, this is the perfect one. And believe me, I've gotten pitched to promote a lot of VPNs, but I will look into more towards that. But yeah, I've gotten pitched by, Norton VPN and all these different VPN companies, but I don't want to recommend one, especially if some have gotten caught up in scandals and data leaks and all this kind of stuff. I don't want to tell you, yeah, guys, you should definitely use this VPN. And then a month later, oh, everyone who signed up for this VPN, your email information and all your data has been hacked. Because that's literally what happened with the VPN service last year. So yeah, it happens, and that's what I'm worried about. But yeah, Proton VPN, I can tell you that's one I have on my smartphone right now. But there's a lot of them. I would say get whatever VPN has a good deal. That's usually kind of the best one, and it's obviously reputable. But you want to get a VPN that basically will make sure to actually last for a long time in terms of reputable company, and then after the reputable part, that is good price, because you can get a VPN that you have a lifetime VPN for $100, and that's really good, obviously, if it lasts a lifetime, so you never have to renew it or anything like that. But most paid for good quality VPNs are anywhere $5 a month to, if you get the year, it's less than 50. So yeah, that's most VPNs, I would say, on normal pricing. An iPhone Messenger competitor. What sorcery is this? I know, right? How long have they should have had that? Hey, we have another super chat donation from R. Rawson. It's everybody drinks, so I will. I still have to. I've not forgotten it. I have to do a drunk mobile weekly one day, and I know I still need to do it. Maybe it's something for like 4th of July, or maybe for my birthday weekend or something like that. But yeah, I still have to do that one day. I know I had talked about it for the 6-year anniversary, didn't get to, but I think that would still be hilarious one day. Hopefully my computer won't crash the day. I'll be like, man, stop it. Fortnite, hell no. Impossible will be at least 1,000. Yeah, no, it will start at $4.99. I do believe that. But again, that's still, what, $200 more than the Apple Watch starts at? I believe it starts at $299. So yeah. I hope with the downgrade on the Note 20 Plus, the price is not as high. We'll have to wait and see. It really is kind of like, we'll have to wait and see how that moves along, because I truly do believe Samsung should not have raised the prices the way they did. The price, all of the S20s are overpriced. And it's going to be a big FU to consumers if Apple doesn't have a high price, and then Samsung's all of a sudden like, oh, so we're not moving that high in price? Okay, let me just discount these here. And then immediately drops their price. Because I do believe that's what's going to happen. If I could bet money on that, that's what is going to happen. That Apple is not going to do crazy price increases, and then Samsung will follow suit and then drop prices on all their Samsung Galaxy smartphones. And if I'm not mistaken, they did drop in price again this week, so I'm going to check on that right now. Yeah, so you can get Let's go ahead and see if it's all of them. So you can get the S20 for $200 off right now on Amazon. This is a US variant with the US warranty, Snapdragon 865. I will put it in the chat right now, so if you wanted to go ahead and check it out. But yes, that's $200 off on the S20. And $200 off on the S20 Plus. They stubbornly will not put the Ultra on sale. I don't know why. The Ultra definitely should be on sale. But either way, S20 Plus and S20 from Amazon, unlocked by Samsung, regular version, they'll work on everything. You get the full year warranty from Samsung. It's all $200 off. So if you're looking to just buy a smartphone outright, that's the discount to really go with. It's not a trade-in or anything like that, so if you do have a trade-in, that might be a better way to go. But if you just want to buy the smartphone at a cheaper price, right now is the discount. But yeah, I still think that the Note 20 should be $1,000, and I think the Note 20 Plus should be $1,200. That's what I think the prices should be with 5G, with me preferring 256 gigs of storage, but I'll take the 128. But that is, yeah, what I see should happen. All right, what's a good app for video editing on Samsung? Honestly, I video edit with the built-in video editor. Samsung does have a capable built-in video editor for basic, editing, text, dividing, transitions. That is all you're doing. Samsung has a pretty good one built in. But the good one otherwise would be, oh man, I forget which one it is. I forget which, KineMaster I think it's called. That's a paid for one, but yeah, KineMaster, K-I-N-E Master. And that one's a really good one. Again, I forget how much it costs off the top of my head. To download it, it's free, but then the paid for features, and that is full like Adobe Premiere on a phone level in terms of good video editing. It really can do a lot, so that one would be the one that I would say to go for that. Let's see. What are you looking forward to in next technology-wise? I'm really looking forward to USB 4.0. So right now we have USB 3.0 and we have Intel Thunderbolt. So the difference is that right now in laptops, there's two main processor companies, Intel and AMD. And AMD is really coming strong and really making Intel kind of wake up, because Intel hasn't been doing anything for the past 3 or 4 years, like making very small upgrades, and AMD just came out and knocked them out and like did not realize, oh wow, like they are so far ahead of us. But Intel made one very big thing, which is called Thunderbolt 3. Thunderbolt 3 allows you to charge and send information at a higher speed than anything else out right now. USB 4.0 standardizes that so that you no longer need an Intel processor or Intel graphics or anything of that nature. So that's the big thing that I am excited for in changing PC-wise, that I'm very excited for. For mobile, I really am excited for foldables. It's gonna be a fun thing to see different things. You know, I was watching Austin Evans' video on asking MKBHD how well does MKBHD know tech. By the way, I did know more phone. Just saying. How did you think the LG Voyager was a smartphone? It wasn't. I had that same phone. But basically, with that video, you kind of saw how crazy Samsung and all these different smartphone companies were. I mean, like what one phone was on there that I got right was the Galaxy Round, and that was such a big one because it was such a big thing because it was a bendable phone, but it was a curved phone really. And then, you know, LG came out with the LG Flex after that, and it was just, you know, Galaxy had the Galaxy camera, then the Galaxy Zoom. By the way, the Galaxy Zoom would be such a good one because I don't think anyone would get that. The S4 Zoom, and then the Zoom 2. I don't think any tech influencer would get that because they would call it the Galaxy camera, I feel like. But yeah, so those are the kind of things that I was excited for, that was really cool. And I want different phones of that. Like Mr. Mobile is doing a great series right now on old phones, like the Matrix phone and all these kind of fun, interesting phones, a NASA phone that was made from titanium, all these different things. So it was really cool back in the day of how much variety we had, and lately we don't have that. So that's what I'm so interested in foldable devices for, because it's a variety, and that's what I'm really excited for. So yeah. All right. Why are Sony phones taking so long to come out? You know, that's a very good question. I think Sony just really is in the phone game to be in the phone game. Like I'm reviewing this one. This is last year's model. It's the Xperia 5. So it's mid-range, high-end. It's not their high-end was the Xperia 1, which I hate their number scheme, by the way. But you know, they're coming out slowly but surely with their new Xperia 1 2. And for me, it's just kind of like, again, it's an alternative, but it's made for like a filmmaker, and that's pretty much it. And I think they're gonna sell in Japan, and that's about it. Like, I don't think Xperia is big in other countries. I don't think it's huge. Maybe it has pockets that I'm unaware of. It's definitely not big in the US. So it's really interesting to see why is Sony still coming out with phones. I still say Sony could have done so much better if a long time ago they had just made a PlayStation Store inside of Android, and you could buy things, rebuy old games, and it's not an emulator. What is an emulator? But it's an official emulator, so it should play smoothly, it should look great, all this kind of stuff. It should work with a PS4 controller through Bluetooth naturally. Again, all this was years ago, before any of this stuff can be done more easily. But I think they should have done that a long time ago. My cousin bought the S20 Ultra for $800 on OfferUp. Person needed money, pay bills, and recently got camera update. Seemed like the autofocus is working real good. Yeah, I just got another update for my S20 Plus for the autofocus, so it is better. The video that's actually coming out tomorrow night is going to have that, so yeah, look out for that. I guess I'll just plug it now. The video is coming out tomorrow, is a long-awaited one, I will say, and it is a studio tour. So you are finally going to get to see the studio tour of how all these videos are made, and this is actually going to be the two-parter because this is all the hardware side. So this is all the hardware on how I make these videos, and then you are going to get a separate one, which is the software side of it. So how I edit everything, how I post it on social, everything that I use. I have tools for all of this stuff, and I've used them, learning everything over time. So yeah, it's been a long process, but definitely something that I really like. Hey, Rudy Can't Game, what's up? I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you, sir, and glad you can make it to the video. Do you think I can get USB Wi-Fi adapter, plug in my car, and get wireless Android Auto? Okay, a couple of things. You don't... No. I don't believe so. Because what you're saying is, so Android Auto works wirelessly on some head units and it doesn't work wirelessly on other head units. It's more of a software update that the manufacturer has to do. So no, I don't think getting a Wi-Fi adapter and plugging it into your car would work, especially if that USB is even connected to that part of your car. So I don't think the head unit would work with that. So yeah. Have you upgraded your Wi-Fi yet? No, I still have my old Wi-Fi. If I upgrade it, I am going to upgrade to the Wi-Fi 6. I am, you know, it's funny, like I got all these cards at CES for all these different people, and I can only find half of them. And I've looked in every bag. I have to look in my luggage. That's the only place I can think of still. But I do not have half of the cards contacts, and I wanted to contact TP-Link and D-Link, which I have their cards for it, but I cannot find their cards. So that's what I'm looking for right now in order to reach out to them and hopefully upgrade my Wi-Fi. Can the time of flight camera on the S20 Plus do 3D scans of people? Maybe you could do a video on your S20 Plus 3D scan of a person. Yes and no. Yes, it can absolutely do a 3D scan of a person. Does it look good? Heck no. Like, not at all. I've tried 3D scans on ever since the Note 10, I believe, was the first one with time of flight camera, and it did a really bad job. Samsung's actually had the technology before the time of flight cameras. I think I introduced it as a hidden feature on a tablet, actually, first of all things. And I scanned things, and it's never been that good. It's been like a bad cartoon in terms of how it scans. 3D cartoon. So yeah, it's not as good. Do you know a good app to track gas and mileage? Not gas, but mileage. There was this one called, it's actually an OBD thing that you plug it in to your car so it can actually detect it. And I think that one was called Nomad. I forgot how much the service actually cost for the premium. I know the regular one's free, but I think the premium one cost. But that's one I'm currently looking into right now. And I know they had reached out to me to do a review for them. So I'm currently looking into them to see if I want to do it. The thing is, it doesn't tell you how much this premium service costs. So that's what I'm trying to look into before I agree to work with them. Let's see. What is your best kid technology you have or seen? Best kid technology. I really do love my Nanit baby monitor. So that's Nanit. That works for babies though. So it's an overhead camera and it works really well. I haven't had any issues with that one, so that one I would say is pretty solid. We have had different things, like we tried the Mamaroo for our baby. He didn't like it. It was like a very smart baby swing. He is not a fan of swings. He's just not a fan of swings. Oh my god, what is the game she plays? Let's see. There is a game that my daughter plays. It's like an RPG that I found very good for kids. It's like a quest game. It's like an RPG, but it's all about like science and math and all these kind of stuff. And you complete quests and you level up. So it's really, it takes the best parts of an RPG video game and it turns it into learning. That I found, is it Adventure Academy? Maybe it's Adventure Academy. Yes, it is Adventure Academy. And so that is for kids 8 to 13. That is a great recommendation I would definitely make. And it was funny because I was looking into that game before the school shut down, and then when the school shut down, I told my wife, like, okay, so we're doing that tomorrow. So that was basically it. And we started, and yeah, I would say that is a really good one. So that's kind of gives you a little thing. For babies, I have found that every baby's different. So it's like, you know, the top rated things, sometimes my son liked and sometimes he hated. So I think with babies, it's wild variety is kind of your best bet. But in terms of for older kids, that would be the best kid tech I've seen, which is software wise. Hardware, I haven't seen something really stand out to me. I am, you know, I mean, my daughters use Chromebooks and everything like that. I think those are really the best first laptops for a kid. So yeah, that's the main things that I would say. I do think, again, I'm a big proponent of them bringing wireless charging to mid-tier smartphones, specifically for parents to buy for kids, because kids tear up the USB cables all the time, and you know, they're fragile as is anyway. So it's like, think about how bad some USB cables are, and then think about kids on top of that, so it gets messed up. And yeah, so yeah, that's kind of, I guess, some of the thought processes that I've seen from technology with kids. Where can I get Samsung Good Lock app? Is it in the Google Play Store? So no, it's not in the Google Play Store. It's in the Samsung Galaxy App Store. If you do not have it in there, then you can get it on apkmirror.com. I'm not typing any of this. I'm not showing any of this because, again, last time I did, I got flagged and I got a copyright, I got a YouTube strike for it. Why, I don't know. It's the stupidest thing ever, but it doesn't go away. Luckily, it goes away at the end of this month, so I'm very happy about that. As of the end of this month, it's finally gone, but that's what I'm kind of excited to see. But that's why I haven't done how to download certain apps, because I can do a how to download Gcam on any smartphone, and it works great, and it improves your smartphone quality. The Gcam on my S20 Plus looks better in low light than the regular Samsung camera does, even after the latest update. It improves dramatically the TCL 10 Pro, $500 smartphone. It even makes it a really good quality for the TCL 10L, a $250 smartphone. It shoots like a Pixel 3a. So yeah, it really does help, but again, I can't do a video for it right now. Won't get 2 strikes. Won't ever try to get 2 strikes. Best wireless earbuds under 100. So I did try Anker's best earbuds, but I've not tried their cheaper ones. I know some of those are under 100. What are these called? Okay, yeah, these are on sale for cheaper than 100 right now. So these ones, the Creative Outlier Golds, are on sale for $95 right now on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. They have the best battery life still to this day, 39 hours, so extremely good battery life, and 14-hour battery life in each earbud. So it destroys everything else out in the market when it comes to battery life, still, even with all the improvements that everyone else has. This is 14 hours per charge and 39 hours total. So, and they're still awesome. I still have them always there, kind of just when I usually have these as a backup, basically, even though they're $100, so they're not as, I would say, the best quality. I mean, the base is awesome, but they're not as good as some of the other ones. But I will say that, like, I always know they're gonna have battery. Let's see. Let's see. Does the LiDAR on the iPad Pro do 3D scans of people? I'm sure there's, I'm sure it does with apps. It has the capabilities to definitely do it, just like a time of focus camera has. It's just, Does it have a built-in app? I don't believe so. Has the leaking problem resolved itself yet? Nope, I basically just have half a kitchen right now. Which, it's the half of my coffee, so I'm not too happy about that. I have to give Starbucks or different coffee shops my money now. Yeah. Can the S20 Plus set the resolution to YDH Plus at regular 60 Hz and save battery, but have a higher resolution? Yeah, actually, they found that the resolution doesn't make a difference, actually. High resolution doesn't make a difference in terms of battery life. 60 Hertz will make a difference. I think when we did it, it was a 2-hour difference in battery life between 120 Hertz and 60 Hertz. So that was after all of our battery saving tips. But yeah, both, I mean, were like 10 hours and 12 hours of screen on time with maps and video. So yeah, it was amazing battery life. Do you think the power of Rigsby can keep Google Play Music alive? No, I don't. Not even Rigsby can do that. Or is 51st Date Questions the only app powerful enough to use on Rigsby OS? Yes, of course, we always have to shamelessly plug our app, and that is 51st Date Questions. 51st Date Questions is the app that I created. It's great for a date night, great to have on a first date. If you're meeting someone for the first time right now, it's great to do that. Or it's also great to do just if you're both indoors and you want to see how a person's changed since you first started dating them. It's a really good game to kind of see how their answers have changed over time. I remember when me and my wife played this I want to say 2 years ago. Our answers were completely different from what they were originally. So definitely a good game to play. Let's see. Do you have a T-Mobile S20 Ultra to use 5G, or can you buy an unlocked phone? You can buy an unlocked phone and still use 5G. Yes, strikes go away at the end of this month. Definitely happy about that for sure. All right, guys, we are going to wrap it up. So ask in your last bit of questions right now. Can you please make a 50 last date questions app? What would those questions be? I'm just thinking. Like, how long is it going to be till you date someone else? Let's see. How long is it going to be till you date someone else? What is one thing you really hated about me that I should change before the next person? I'm trying to think of like what would be useful 50 first day. Like, are you going to be upset when I call you in the middle of the night? I don't know. Like, yeah. Did you really ever cheat? Was that person really your brother or your sister? I mean, I could make them, but yeah. Lots of fun stuff with that. What did your parents really think of me now? Yeah, so many inappropriate ones going to mind. All right, guys, I think we will call that a show. Thank you guys always so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like, thumbs up before you head out. Again, tomorrow night we will have this video come out, so make sure to check that out as well. And just let me know what you guys think of the studio tour. I know this has been a long-awaited video, so I'm really curious to see what you guys think. It's like over a 10-minute video, so it's pretty long. Kind of go through every single part and kind of explain everything, and I'll have links for all of it. All right, guys, thank you as always so much for watching. This has been RCKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.